What's going on, everyone? I hope you're well and doing great. This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and I'm jumping on an impromptu live session. This is really inspired yesterday. There was a couple of people reaching out, and they were saying, "Hey, listen, Jordan, is everything okay? I'm missing your commentary. What's going on, Jordan? How are you? Any new discussion?" It's been a couple of weeks since I checked in with you all on the public side. Listen, we have 6 kids. There's a lot going on. Getting them ready for school, daddy breakfast, making sure my wife is okay to get them off. And we've just been overwhelmed on that area. And therefore, I just didn't have time to jump on and go live with you all. That's it. There's all the love in the world for you all. I want you to know and understand that. But when I saw a couple of people reaching out, I said, you know what? I have to make the time today. So I made some like enfrijoladas for the kids this morning, got them into the mommy van, and then she took off with them. And I'm jumping on here with you because the truth is that I miss you all. There's no question about that. I feel like if you're not part of what we do each and every day on CTM, we make sure that on the outside that always everyone's up to date. If you're not following the Twitter feed, go ahead and do that. I put out over here this point of inflection Bitcoin. Anyone who had been following the channel up until we had to stop our daily live streams, they had the plan in place. I mean, I really did. I felt a really good job walking everyone through this pendant that was taking place. We were looking at it from log, we were looking at it from linear, and then we were able to sit. Hold on, let me just clean up these charts a little. Right, we were looking at it from log, we were looking at it from linear, and we were able to look for whether this thing broke to the upside or downside. Be prepared. We had an aggressive breakout, right? We had a close above the line over here for those that were taking an aggressive entry, and then it was a confirmed break to the upside on this line up over here. A couple of different things were happening since then. First of all, if you go back to any of these videos over here, by the way, exceptional job walking through that last fake breakdown of the CPI. But if you were watching any of these videos over and over, we say, I don't know if it breaks to the downside. I don't know if it breaks to the upside. But if it does, watch out for some type of fakie, right? This was said way before the breakout. Watch out for some type of fakie. And that's exactly what wound up happening. It wound up happening because of Sam I Am going ahead and defrauding the whole industry. Listen, if that didn't happen and we were seeing this nice breakout to the upside, likely if we didn't see the saga take place, and I'm not going to get into all the politics about what potentially might have taken place or what did take place, is that someone was using client funds. I mean, the courts will decide. The authorities will decide. But if that didn't happen, it looks like today, coming off the back of this lower than expected CPI print, we would be flying and off to the races. Certainly seems that way to me. The markets right now are pricing in for December. They're a strong 50 basis point hike, right? Off of that, now just less, about a 20% chance of a 75 basis point hike. They're still hiking. It's still a tightening cycle. We're seeing a couple of things happen. We're seeing quantitative tightening, right? Balance sheet runoff, and we're still seeing rates rising. Now, we've looked at the turn that took place. A turn is a lesser degree of rate hikes. We saw it first happen from the Bank of Australia. Then we saw it happen from the Bank of England and then the Bank of Canada. Now it looks like the market is pricing in. It's going to happen at the next Fed meeting in December. And that does not mean that's not a pivot. It's just a lesser degree of rate hikes. There's still tightening. There's still, let's say, no cause for any type of euphoria. And by the way, when we do get to a pause, when they eventually get, I also saw a Fed speaker this morning mention that, probably when they get to a neutral rate of 4.5%, they'll probably move to a pause. If that's the case, that's extraordinarily bullish. Powell just told us last week that it's probably going to be over 5%. So if that were the case and the market's pricing in a neutral rate of over 5% and now 4.5%, that would be bullish. But I don't take any of these people at their word, and I don't think you should either. They're changing this story all the time. we're looking since then. And by the way, this tweet was very timely, right? It's giving you a very important point over here, regardless of what's happening with the news. That stuff doesn't matter. If you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and you could take there's a link below in the description. And, sure enough, you had the aggressive line and then extend that out. I think you had the tools, even though I couldn't be there live with you. I hope that you're able to understand why. But for sure, the amount of love that is abundant. And that's why I wanted to jump on with you today. All right, let's take a look. A couple of different things over here, probably starting with the dollar, putting in this major breakdown this morning coming off of that CPI print, right? You could see that this thing is breaking. Branko, right, has put together this beautiful piece of art over here, this TA, ahead of time. You could see this red line over here. I added that off of his TA, which is absolutely beautiful. And you can see that is pierced here after testing it, right? A couple of days ago, testing it, and then boom, breaking through right now. Look, if we zoom out a little bit, you can see this line over here. I'm going to make it darker for you. And after I make it, I don't know what a midpoint is. After I make it darker for you, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it means and what it is, because we're coming into that next. I'm going to zoom out a little, and you can see this touch over here that came in March 2020. And you could see once it broke, it held that support over there, right? So be a little easy. Maybe it's a little bit below, right, in that whole area. But watch out over here as we are coming into an area of support. Break below that, and then this thing is really have a big technical breakdown. Look, that doesn't mean that this thing goes straight down by any means. And be aware and be prepared that we could range out over here because they're still tightening, right? They are still tightening. They're still raising rates. And December likely is not the last rate hike, right? So just understand that we're looking at potentially, well, we did see a major break occur, but we're coming into still an area of support. It could find support over here just below. Get below that, and then I think that we might have a test for even lower towards the 105 area. But it's not straight up, it's not straight down, and it could be something like that, and that's okay. We're at a major turning point. Look at the bottom. The bottom, right, which went, this is dollar milkshake theory all day long, but the bottom, this took a long time. That wasn't, we're bottoming and we're going straight up. No, this bottom took 6 months or whatever it is. Take a while, right? Same thing with the top. If this is the top, or maybe this thing bases out for a while, and then, maybe inflation ticks up and maybe China opens up. Maybe all of a sudden there's massive demand for oil that's not having abundant supply. And then all of a sudden you start seeing inflation crushing, cruising again. And then all of a sudden they have to go from actually pausing back to tightening. Who knows what's going to happen? Look, this is probably the best bet. If you're buffering over there, Jen, maybe go, I thought the settings is on the bottom right of the YouTube. You can set your own stream quality, Vincent, great morning. Good to see you over here and everyone. Is Bitcoin dead again, Colin? Oh, all right. So, look, the best posture you could have is long-term mindset. Not thinking that you live in the truth, have the truth, or know what's going to happen. It's the markets. They're incredibly difficult. There's no question about that. There is nothing easy about this, right? Do not let anyone ever tell you that you got lucky. Buy side only spot, knowing when to be in the markets and when out is priceless. Trade smart and safe. You got this. Think safety over profits. Think in the long term. In the long term over here, we're looking at a couple of different things. First of all, buy side only, right? Out of the market, neutral. There's no FOMO on a day watching this bounce. And there's no having to, is this the bottom? Did, FTX going under, massive multi-billion-dollar scam going under, does that equate to the bottom? Was that capitulation? I don't know. It could be. But they're still tightening. They're running quantitative tightening, which means that the Fed is running off their balance sheet, The Fed is raising rates again next month. They're still tightening. Why they're still tightening? I would expect that, they're just getting to job layoffs now. I saw Meta, formerly known as Facebook, formerly known as The Facebook. They're laying off a bunch of workers. We saw Twitter just lay off a bunch of workers. And those layoffs are starting to roll in. Stripe payment processor, which has a greater heartbeat of the e-commerce world than something like FedEx, and they're reducing their staff because they see a recession coming. Look, take it as it comes rather than trying to take some type of deterministic view of what's going to happen. But buy side only right now, this is a bounce, and it could be a dead cat bounce, by the way. If you look at what's happening from a different view or a different angle, we have a massive breakdown of this descendant of this. What are we on, log or linear? Log of this pendant, because it matters if we're on log or linear, right? I don't even have it over. Hold on one second. I wasn't even prepared for getting on with y'all, but again, there's a lot of love there, and I wanted to, right? So you have either this descending wedge and you had this beautiful breakout, right? Wow, CTM 1.0. No, look at this, just connecting the wicks of the lines over here. Once you broke down over here, you're out. And if you didn't get out over there because you saw a tweet from these two, let's say billionaires saying, oh, guess what? CZ's going to jump in and he's going to buy FTX and you could just go, extend this out over here. Why? Because right now we're coming into this line. Do you see that? If you didn't get out over here, by the way, what I wanted to say, and I'm sorry, sometimes I go so fast thinking that everyone understands or is with me, and that's okay. I want to go slow. I want to make sure that everyone gets what I'm talking about, and just focus on this bottom line over here. This bottom line is connecting the low of this October wick and the low of this late October wick, and by extending that out, if that pierces or breaks, this breakout over here is over. It's over, right? And that's a place to manage your risk off of. So rather than like predicting price, right? This is a breakout over here of this descending wedge, right? Descending wedge. This is a breakout. So now I'm like going long. So when you enter that trade, you might have, oh, well, if price goes to 25,000, I make X amount of money. And no, it's not any one individual trade. It's a series of these things over a lifetime. So don't be attached to any one trade. Just go ahead and go to business. Manage your risk on it. The risk here is once you come back down over here, this trade's over. It doesn't matter that you're not wrong. You're right. You're right in the fact that you are managing this trade correctly. It's not about whether that one trade was a winner or a loser or anything like that. That's not how this game is scored, right? Now you come back down over here, and if you froze like a deer in headlights because you didn't ahead of time understand what the levels were to manage your risk, which is okay. You're hopefully here to learn. I'm a student of the markets, and I'm always looking to learn and to do better. You have over here this other area, the support of this triangle. Price going below that, oof, you got now now you're looking at a loss, but that's okay. Take your losses, but get out. And then you saw the breakdown, and now we're coming up for a retest. So this broken resistance, and look as it held as resistance right here on this wick down, right? It first held as support barely and then rolled over. But we're coming in for a retest right in this area right now. And you could see that also over here if I look at it from this. Like even if we get above here this session, call it above 18,200, like we're not out of the woods, because on log, and I consult linear or log, and I don't care what you do, go ahead and be you and do you. Do what you find comfortable. I prefer looking at multiple vantage points because sometimes the market's paying attention to one and sometimes paying attention to another. And I don't have this like need to be right. So I'm good checking it all out. And you could see 18,200, that's coming up right above here. But we got overhead resistance up in this area as well, right? And I would say that you're not even out of the woods until you get above this line over here, this red line. So I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. All right, just so we have it as a point of reference. Look, the household is very busy right now, especially in the mornings. And I would love to be here live with you all every day, walking y'all and just being with you, right? I love that sense of community. It's not possible right now. Like, obviously family first. And after they get off to school, I'm then immersed in my work, CTM, right? And preparing for those presentations and making sure that we continue to do what we do. But I will be here whenever possible, and ebbs and flows. Once my mornings open up again, I will try to be here regularly for real. I want you all to know that there's a lot of love here. You can see that this line over here, this is coming up at 19,200. A close back above there, I would say that we're pretty good. We're pretty safe once and if that's recovered. Again, right now, what we're looking at is a retest. This thing could roll over. The people could say, oh, well, the CPI came in, but the economy's starting to weak. Job layoffs are coming. Fed's tightening. I don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to be described. I don't need to. I just look at price and follow what's going on with price. I do all the other stuff for fun. I could get rid of this stuff now and clean up my chart. I go over the macro and I consult because I have a passion for the markets, a huge, enormous Some people enjoy Netflix, I enjoyed Yellowstone, by the way. Some people enjoy that. This is what I do. So let's jump over and look, and we still got lots of more resistance above now. We had a major breakdown, and this is a major bounce, but hey, that's not unusual. Don't get comfortable. Don't take any risks. Wait. Bottoms normally take time. In hindsight, could this be looked at something that was a capitulation bottom? Yep, but I'll let that be hindsight. There's plenty of time ahead. We are in still the thick of a tightening cycle. There's plenty of time. Take the long view. You're going to make it. You're going to do extraordinarily well if you get to a point where you could be extraordinarily disciplined and have that long-term perspective. What else am I looking at over here? This line over here, do you think that might be resistance on the upside? It could be. I don't think it was that big, that breakdown over here. Let me come down to a smaller time frame and see what happened over there. Yeah, I mean, well, maybe not. So what happened, you saw the breakdown, right? This is the line that we looked at together. I'm trying to get my view over here. Yeah, I'm on auto. It's this major wick down that's really throwing me off. So let me get past that a little bit. All right, hold on one second. I'm going to enjoy this. So you had the breakdown of this trend line connecting those two lows in October that we looked at, right? Here's the breakdown over here. Price breaks down. It comes up and it retests that line. So that line is legit. You could see the retest, the breakdown, the retest, and then it rolls over, right? And then this wick up here is the coordinated announcement. It was coordinated between CZ and Sam. Their tweets were out minutes apart. Saying, now granted, full disclosure, it's dependent on due diligence. They did the due diligence the next day and no, we can't do that. Do you think at the time they knew that? I don't know. I don't want to get into that stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't trust anyone. No one's a hero, right? So then you had this massive breakdown into this line. You could look at that beauty. You could see it. I don't even know what that line is. I'm going to zoom out in a second and look at you. This whitish line. You can see the move into it, the breakdown, and then boom. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, that's our beautiful pendant line over here, right? This is on the log scale. So you could see just on the 2 hour how beautiful that came into play. So on the upside, we have a few different things to worry about. You have this line that we just came into this morning, right? That price is finding resistance right now. If you get above it, well, that's a good victory if you're, bullish. And I hope you're bullish. Like, bullish on Bitcoin doesn't mean that you expect that price is not going to make lower lows or that price is going to new all-time highs. Is that you love the opportunity that Bitcoin offers for a fair and just system, for a better future for us, for our families, for our children, for the world, a world where we're not looking at all these unjust atrocities and wars being fought. That's all it means, right? But you got resistance below, and then from different vantage points, you got a couple of more areas to worry about, even higher. Getting above here, that feels good. Above our red line, it'll be a marker. That will feel good. And then we still got this we just looked at as why it was resistance. It could still be resistance. You got horizontal resistance in that area right now. We'll take it as it comes. We're far from anything. Right now, are we looking for this to be a dead cat bounce and roll over? I don't know about any of that. Right now, I'm just out of the market. Buy side only, right? Out of the market since 20,600 and just waiting. It could be a while before there's another buy entry. Okay. Ethereum, same thing. Out of the market, waiting. Cardano hasn't even had a buy entry in all of 2022 on the buy side. It's just been completely. Do you know what a massive value that is? GBTC, right? Trade this off the daily. It's only had one small trade in 2022. Do you know the massive advantage of being on the sidelines protecting that capital? There are some people who have GBTC in a retirement account. Holding, bleeding. Being out of the market is as important as being in the market. That's the lesson of the day. Being out of the market is just as important as being in the market. Right now is a great opportunity to understand and ingrain the lesson of discipline, of understanding and knowing that you don't need to be always looking to participate on the upside or thinking about where your profits could come from. And you can do that. And it wasn't easy on the buy side and sell side. For myself over here, Ethereum, right? Taking a short entry and then those two clowns, right, on their tweets, taking an immediate stop loss on it. Sell entry, immediate stop loss, and then seeing these things roll over. Well, you know what? That's not a good feeling, do you think? Not participating massively on the downside as you would like to. But you know what? In this instance, me, myself personally, was so happy to take a stop loss and be out of the market during that massive uncertainty and volatility. Sometimes it's better taking a small stop loss, even if it's in the right direction. Obviously, this is in the right direction. So some people might be thinking, oh, I could have made so much money. Yes, you could have made so much money, and you also could have lost so much money, and then you could have maybe at the bottom started selling and then got your face planted on the upside. That's not what you want. All right? So that's our session for today. I just wanted to jump on and let you know I have all the love in the world for you, that I'm here. Those comments for sure were important to me. People checking in, want to know how we're doing, what's going on. I wanted to make sure that I got back and was present with you all. And, as soon as someone else could help out in the morning with the kids, I'll be spending a lot more time with you. If you're new to this channel, if this is the first video you've seen, it's a different voice out there. Go ahead and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell icon. We'll share more. Everyone, I hope you have a beautiful. So, okay, I'm going to take a second here, my brother. I didn't get a chance to see any comments. Your comments are important to me, so I'm not going to jump off. I'm going to take it from a few thousand viewers on the stream to 100 plus. MK, I only work with the small group. Not forget this. Who's here on the I'm not out there for you see my thumbnails? I don't even have thumbnails. Do you think I care? I'm not trying to attract viewers. I work in the most amazing environment, atmosphere I know of, with the most incredible team I know of. MK, do you know what the beauty is to be able to go and do and see what you love over? I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal and beautiful. Looking at this is 2022. This is 2022, right? Buy and hold 66% down, right? Short side's fantastic. Buy side is also. We take them both. We don't even care. We don't have an opinion on the market. We're just out there crushing it, MK. And I'm not looking for views. I don't care about views. I care about who I am surrounded by. and who I work with. That's what's important for me, MK. MK, I'm glad you're here adding a view to the. It's meaningless to me. I get to work in such a beautiful atmosphere with incredible talent, and we're doing extraordinary things. That's what's important to me. I get to go to. Yesterday, I wanted to play for you the stream. Like the whole world is on fire, and the serenity and calmness that like people were. That's what I want. That's what I built. That's what we built. That's what I'm excited about. So that's what we're doing over there. Just wanted to, MK, beautiful stuff, my brother. Beautiful stuff. JF, absolutely. Mr. Rag did a beautiful at the beginning of the session, a beautiful discussion on the dollar, on the DXY. Hit back on the stream. You're going to appreciate that view. Just push back on the stream and go to the part where you see the chart of the DXY and go ahead and check out that commentary, Boom, 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 boom. There you go. I love that. The dollar cost averaging, these are good levels, I think, for the long term to buy. There's much better ways, much easier ways, much more productive ways, much more efficient ways than dollar cost averaging. Once I have time to go ahead and be here with you regularly, we get that out, because guess what? The market's always going to be here. The market is always going to be here. There is no rush. Watching some of your older videos about the entries TCI, could you explain and show an example of what you need in the candles to place the trade? Sam, there's a video on this channel on the playlist. I think it's inside Forex, maybe Bitcoin. And it talks about like a beginner strategy, for Bitcoin. That beginner strategy for Bitcoin will outperform like the biggest influencer out there all day long. It was sent out like 2.5 years ago. Go ahead and watch it. It gives the full explanation. And it will outperform, as you will see. You could go back since I sent out the video, and you could go and look at what happened over the next 2.5 years, and you could be like, why didn't I just do that? Because he said it was a beginner strategy. And because he said it's a beginner, that meant to me it's not good enough. Now, I'm not saying you, Sam. I'm just saying this is how we all think. But that stuff is highly valuable, But as far as going over that stuff now, we're doing different things. Daryl, stay safe, my brother. Lots of love to everyone out in Florida. And we hope that God calms those winds, right? Right, that God is able to just go ahead and calm those winds for sure. Those swings were violent. Woo! Thank you, Tanya. Oh, great to see you. Great to see you. Absolutely, my brother. Thanks for being here for Mr. Ramen Gang. We're at the most love for everyone. If you enjoyed being here today, if you're one of those few 100 views that were here, just go ahead on your way out. Go ahead and smash the like button. It always makes me feel good to see those thumbs fly, and it helps with the channel. Not that we care, but we do care. CTM all day long. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, we'll talk to you soon, everyone. God bless you. I'll see you all later.